Everyone, welcome to Friday morning at Krogers. I am sitting here in my car. It's pouring down rain and I got my Starbucks for the day. So I got myself a cold brew iced coffee with a little splash of cream. So I decided to pop on here to at least record this because I don't know what I'm going to really do with this video. Most likely I'll do a repot on, but maybe not either. So what I wanted to tell you was, this story's kind of funny because I don't do things like this. First of all, I've only had one Calathea, and that's the White Fusion, and it's doing marvelous, and I just love that plant. And I'm not a Calathea girl. I've seen multiple Calatheas, but I'm just not a, Calathea person. Ooh, that was bright. That was really bright lightning. So did you hear that? That's kind of cool. This is good because I'm not going to be walking into work in a monsoon that we're having. So anyways, so yesterday I came in and got my same coffee, and I noticed that in the plant section that they had this beautiful Maranta. I don't know what not Maranta. I don't even know what kind it is. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But right now I just know it's Calathea. And so I saw it and I went over to it, looking at it, and it looked beautiful. The leaves are gorgeous, it's soft. I didn't see any mealies, I didn't see any spider mites. It looked perfect. So I ended up deciding that, with this rain, so I ended up deciding that if it's still here tomorrow, meaning today, then I'm gonna buy it if I come back. And that's exactly what I did. It was like $24.99. I mean, it's a steal in my book. You couldn't get something like this online for nothing. I mean, it'd be like $200. So let me show you this beautiful plant. It got a little bit wet, but the leaves on this is, I mean, it's so soft. I didn't know these guys were so soft. Look at this new leaf coming out. And he's tall. So it's from Live Joy. I know that. Live Joy. But it's a beautiful plant. I can't wait to get home and repot it. So I'm happy that I got it. And it's going to be a beautiful addition, I think, to mine. So yeah. On that note, rain's slowing up, so I'm going to head back to work, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sheri. Today is kind of feels like a do-all type day. I don't have specific plans other than I've got things to do. Now, I did buy a new plant yesterday that I'm kind of hesitant on doing anything with it today, but as you can see, it's Calathea. Now, I bought it at Krogers, and the story goes is, I went to Krogers 2 days ago for Starbucks for a coffee before work, and I saw this plant, and I was like, wow, that is beautiful. I've never felt such soft leaves before. And I almost bought it that day, but I decided I wasn't going to buy it on the whim because this is a very difficult plant, is what I hear. So I waited and I said, well, if I come back on Friday, the next day, then I will go ahead and get it. So I did end up going back on the next day, and I ended up getting it, obviously. So I had to keep it in my car during the day, and it was rainy it was raining and storming when I first got it. In the car, it was humid, it's hot outside, and so by lunchtime I went out to check on it, and all the leaves had just sagged and curled up. I had to cut one of them away, couple of them away yesterday, and so it's been through a lot. I took it in the office, I gushed it with water, and it was real happy, and all the leaves came back out. And it's been sitting still in my kitchen this whole time. So that's why I'm hesitant. You know I should probably let this plant acclimate, but here's the thing. I don't want to. I want to get it in my mix. I want to get it into either a pot, a glazed pot, or I'm going to try seeing if I have a big enough glass vase to actually put it into no drainage, because I think no drainage will be the best for this plant. I just don't think I have any big enough, which I think this is the biggest I have. And I bought these originally last week at Hobby Lobby. It was excellent price, guys. I only got this big one for it's searching for my face. $5, I can't read it, 5 something. Right? Yeah, $5.99. So I want to see if I can get it in here. I just feel like the roots are going to be too big, because this is an 8-inch pot already, and I think this is just going to be too small. And I originally bought all of these for my alocasias that I want to put in as they grow in the no drainage. So we'll see. And I've got a whole bunch of substrate and stuff that I ordered from Amazon. I haven't opened yet. This week's been just kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like it. It came a couple days ago. I haven't opened them. So I just thought I would just do it here on camera, since this is something that we do, right? I don't remember. I think I know that I told you guys my tree fern, New Zealand tree fern fiber that I usually buy is out. And I was gonna go to the garden center and pick up that Pro Mix soil, but I couldn't do it, guys. I don't want to change from what works. And what works is tree fern and this peat moss that I use. So for this plant, I'm going to do less perlite, and I'm going to do more peat moss and tree fern, and I don't know, and see how that goes. I watched a couple videos on people, and one of them, she suggested, she didn't even use perlite. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not real sure yet about that. Oh, this is messy. This is real messy. Yuck. I need to vacuum today anyway, so it's a good day to do all this. Yuck. And I know I have the tree fern I ended up getting. The tree fern I ended up getting, I saw one of my plant channel people that I follow use it. And she mentioned that she liked it even better than the one that I had been using, and it's cheaper. So I was like, well, you know, why not? Because there's two, I really only had a couple choices. I had the one that I got, and then there was a Tazula one that just didn't, for some reason, I wasn't comfortable buying that one. I'm not sure why. My LECA. I think maybe because for me, sorry guys, my gimbal's looking for me. For me, the tree fern for Tazula, at least the pictures that they had in there, looked too much soil-like. And tree fern is not soil. It is not soil, nor should it look like soil. So that's why I went with this other one. Oh. And because FA uses this one, I think. Pretty sure. This box is too big to lift, guys. And I got a big size of it, or I think I did. And I also got my perlite. Okay, so this isn't very big. This isn't big at all. This is not going to last me at all. So this is from Gardeniera. It's 5 quarts. It's not big enough. Could have swore I got bigger than that, but Gardeniera tree fern is 100% natural fern. It is sustainable, harvested in New Zealand. Our tree fern provides superior moisture retention and humidity levels. New Zealand tree fern encourages healthy growth of your plants. It's ideal for growing orchids and epiphytal plants. 100% natural New Zealand tree fern, sustainable, harvested, helps to retain water and nutrients, encourages healthy growth, ideal for orchids. And okay, I said that already. So disclaimer, which we all know, keep out of reach of children, may cause respiratory irritation. Use outdoors or in well-ventilated area. Respiratory protection is recommended when dust is present. So yeah, and it's true too, because I need to go get a mask, because it really is crazy dusty. So that's that. Where's my, okay, and then last but not least, my perlite that I'm out of. So I needed more perlite, so this came at a perfect time. So I get this here. This is the organic perlite. Now it should be the thin, which it sounds like that it is. It should be the thin, lightweight perlite that I get. I don't know which end is. Guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's perfect. So I get a whole box of it, and it lasts such a long time. All right, so the boxes are open. I have no cats, so they can't play in them. My dogs don't care for boxes. All right, so that's done. Now, what do I want to do? Oh, I just don't know about this. It's going to be so upset when I have to do what I have to do with it, but I'm not heavily invested in this plant. Like, if it survives, great. If it doesn't, okay. So I think I'm going to go for it. I'll have to, yeah, all they have here is Calathea, but I looked up on Google, and I believe this is I think they call it the Velvet Jungle or something like that. I'll put it up on the screen, the actual name that I believe that this is, and you can, you know, you can look it up if you want, but it's a beautiful, I just couldn't get over how soft these leaves are. So treatment wise, I really haven't done anything treatment wise with this. I looked with using my magnifying glass on all the leaves. I didn't see anything. I know Calatheas are a very high pest plant that people have said. So far, I've got none on my white fusion. I don't have any pests in the house, thank the good Lord. But yeah, I hopefully, you know, the dirt, I mean, you just have to hope for the best, right? So I know it's going to be wet. Oh, I'm going to get my gloves. I still haven't worked out my microphone issues yet with this iPhone that I use to record on. Don't know if I will, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to spend the money for another microphone when mine worked perfectly fine and I spent almost $300 on that set. So hopefully you stick with me regardless. Oh, wow, it's big. That's a big plant. It is not going to be happy, guys. It's just not. But it was glad. I was really happy that I gave it water yesterday. I don't know when they watered it last. You know how stores are. They just suffocate their plants because they don't have time to keep them up. Which typically I would never, ever have bought from a grocery store, a big box store at all, plants, especially one like this. But honestly, if it weren't for seeing it there, I would have never bought this plant. One, I don't see them very often in stores, and I would have never bought any online simply because I didn't even know about it. Yeah, it's not going to like me. I just know it's not. Most likely all the leaves will drop. But the videos that I have watched, I mean, you could cut this down and all of them will grow back in a couple months, you know, if it's a healthy plant. I won't be keeping all these roots. This is too big of a block for me. Or at least I don't plan on it. I plan on cutting the root ball down. It's funny how our weather's changed here in Ohio. Not more than a week ago, we were still in spring weather, and it was wonderful. It was like 40s, 45 at night, and maybe 60, 65 during the day. Now we're in the heat. I feel like we're in the heat of the summer with humidity, really high humidity. Our air conditioning's running now all the time. I think I don't know what today's weather is, but yesterday it was a little cooler than the day before, but it was like in the mid 70s, I guess. But it's just muggy. It's from all the rain we've been having, which I'm really glad we've had this rain. I'd be interested to know who has this plant, if you're watching, and how do you care for it? I'm really considering putting my white fusion into a no drainage situation because I'm watering it every 3 days, and I know that its brown leaves are from not enough water, even though you can, just touching the soil, I mean, it's pretty wet still. I use the same mix that all my other plants use, and I think that's the problem because I've got a lot of perlite and probably, you know, back then maybe some bark, I don't know, in that mix. I have to be careful and watch the camera because if they can't find my face, you're going to be spinning all over the place. Oh, it's a heavy plant too. I mean heavy from all this dirt. Looks like good soil though. I see charcoal, I see pumice. It's probably coco cores, my guess. It's really good soil. I really probably could have kept it in there and been fine. But I don't like doing that. Some people keep their, however they buy it, they just keep them in that. And I don't. Maybe I mean, I used to be like that, but after watching PlantTube, I learned way too much to do that. Too high risk in my book for the plant itself, because most of the time this stuff is way too heavy for the plants when you buy them, and or you know, and it's just not adequate for them to live in. But you know, new people to the plant community, they don't know that. I didn't. I had no idea about orchids. I didn't know they grew back. I didn't know that when you buy them, they could have root rot, which all of mine do when I buy them. And honestly, I'm done buying them. Those plants are harder than any plant I own to keep alive. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong with an orchid. I bought another one a couple weeks back from Meyer, and I took it out, I repotted it, put it in a, gosh, I forget what that's called. It's one of those pots with air in them. Oh, I'll think of it and put it on the screen. And I thought, oh, it's going to love it in here. Well, it's dying. It's dying, and I don't know. I think it's because it's too dry. And yeah, that's what I think. It was just too dry. And so I said, well, you're too dry. I'm going to sit you in some water, because its leaves, orchid leaves, were just completely wilted over. And they're still wilted, but I think it's happier because I had it sit in water and bark until the bark soaked up all the water. I could really separate this plant, you know, instead of having one big gigunta one. But I don't know. I don't like having duplicate plants. I like having one big one, but at the same time, I don't want a big one either. Big ones take up real estate that I don't have. But this guy's going to stay in the kitchen until fall, until all the leaves on the big tree out that window drop, because the sun will come blaring in all winter long. So I'll at least keep him out there instead of in here in my plant room. Because I think that even this light in here, I think that's another thing that could be a problem with my white fusion. I think that the light in here is too bright, and it's also impacting its leaves, which is very odd for me to think about. You don't think that plants are that sensitive to light, but some are. Yeah, hey, I did a pretty good job. I think what I'll do here, or I know I'm going to do, I'm going to take him out and I'm going to use the hose on him to clean off this root ball, so see what I'm dealing with here. And then consider my options. I do have big glazed pots in the garage, but I really don't want to put it in a glazed pot. I don't know why either, because that one is. It's not huge, you know. It's not like a... I'll show it to you here in a little bit. I remember. Okay. All right, so I will be back. I'm going to clean this mess up, and we'll figure out where we'll go from there. When I went outside, the smell of fertilizer was everywhere. I haven't seen anyone out there, and typically it's, you know, on Saturday you don't usually see companies coming around, but I'm like, so gross. We don't put fertilizer on ours. It kills the environment. It kills the bugs that the birds eat, and the birds helping the plants, all that good stuff. It's like, so yeah, we don't, but our neighbors do, and it just stinks to high heavens. What am I going to do with this? I'm not going to work on it. So, well, this is where we're at. So his roots look really good. They're nice and white. So what I think I'm going to do is, and again, this is, I may regret this, but I think I am going to put it in here. I'm going to cut these roots and I'm going to let it regrow new ones, because what I don't want in my brain is I don't want these long roots living down into the water of the reservoir in here out the gate. I want over time, I want the roots to learn it's in a non-drainage environment and then eventually hit the water, and maybe then it'll be okay. But, you know, I know that most people probably would cut it, put it in water for a while, get water roots, and then pot it up in the semi-hydro, and versus me just plopping it into no drainage. But that's just, I just want to try it. So I don't want to go through all that. You know, I don't want to put it in water and have it sit in water for all that time when, what if this will work just fine? So I think what I'll do here is cut It's not going to be happy, guys. He's not going to be happy. If you go into it knowing that, you aren't heartbroken when it doesn't work out. You are a little bit, but because I don't want it to die, I want to be able to keep it. I want it to be happy, but I don't want it to be a hard plant to maintain either. So this is what we've got. He won't last in there very long. That's for sure. So what I think I'll do here, because I'm putting it in no drainage, I think I'm going to keep my mix the way that it is, and not change it at all, because I have my Alocasia, you know, as I've shown you before, in semi-hydro. So these were just the corms, and I decided that all Alocasia are going to go to no drainage. And so the corms, once they started growing, my black velvet, I put them in this no drainage cup. And they're at that point where they have enough roots that I'm going to put them in a bigger one, probably after this, but that'll probably be a different video. What I'm kind of doing is I'm doing my plant chores all in one big video, and then as I'm done with one piece, I cut it, I edit it, that's a video, and then the next week is that video, and so forth. It's just easier on me. So the first thing, we're going to put our LECA in. So you can't see, it's following me. I want it up a little higher, so let's see if I can. No. It wants an object. That I'm starting to learn. It wants an object to lock on. And I think that smell, to be honest, guys, I think it's coming from this plant, because I smell it in here. I'm glad I got it out of that soil, whatever it was in. Ugh. I hosed it off for about 10 minutes. So this is what I'm at, but I think I want more in there. Booby, it's not scary. My dog, scared of everything. All right, so that's about 2 inches, I'd say. And what I'll probably do is I'm going to go back to Hobby Lobby and see if I can find a bigger one. In case this one, if it works, this isn't going to be in here that long. So the next thing is, now some people use moss, and moss is great. I mean, I use moss all the time, but I don't want moss as its substrate. I want my normal tree fern, perlite, and peat moss for my substrate for my plants because of the nutrition value. So what I'm going to do here is, this is not going to be wet enough. This is really fully loaded with perlite and some bark because of my anthurium. So I don't want to muddy the water there. So I think what I'll do is, I'm going to put some in here, like that. And then I need, this is the tree fern that I use. I have some left. And it does last a long time. It's expensive, but it does last a long time, I will say. I need to go check and see if I have any more peat moss that's opened. Yep. I'll put a little bit of this charcoal in, just a tad. I have no idea how much I'm going to need, so. I'm going to put extra peat moss. I looked for a mask, not too hard by the way, but I looked for one, I couldn't find one. My hands were dirty, and so I was like, yeah, I've been doing this for a year now without a mask. Probably not smart, but I do try to keep myself away from it, especially when it's really bad and I'm using perlite. my, what is it called? Philodendron. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it. It's called. I'm terrible with this name business. I can't remember what they are. I'm looking right at it. Anyways, I'll put it up on the screen. It's not doing very well. I repotted it last week, put it on, did I put it on a different moss pole? No, I didn't put it on a different moss pole, but Columbia, Philodendron SP Columbia. It grew this leaf and then it just stopped. It's like the leaf is in midstream. It's out, but it's not out. And so when I repotted it, took it out of its mix, there was rot. Which there was rot when I bought that little baby plant when it was shipped to me last year, and I was hoping it would be okay, but I mean it's been growing. Plants don't grow if they're fully rotted, you know. So what it looked like is it grew new. It looked like aeroids. I don't know if philodendron have aeroids, but I'll call it that. They grew these new aeroids and then these new roots. They were pretty big, but then all the other roots they're gone. And so I was like, well, it's not a big deal because the moss pole has the newest roots. So I still I up-pot it to that is a 5-inch plastic. And I up-potted it, put it in my mix. I did not water it. I thought, you know, I'll wait a couple of days because it was still sopping wet. And I thought, well, if it has a chance, it's going to come back now because it's a new mix. It's in a bigger pot because it was in too small of a pot before. It was, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna make it. I hope so, because I really think those leaves are beautiful as they get older. But yeah, we'll see. I should probably know in a couple weeks. If it doesn't do anything, I doubt if I'll keep it. I might be screwing up here, guys. I might be screwing up here because this is not a small plant. But I don't want it sitting on the LECA. Okay, that's perfect. Perfection, I think. I think that's perfection. You guys are probably like, no, don't do it. Let me know in your comments what y'all think of this. It's funny how I've become a no drainage gal. When you get to a point where you're, you know, like my alocasias, you just get to a point after a while where you're like, I'm not going to keep buying these plants if they keep dying like this, no matter how much water you give it. And when I had decided to put my corms in no drainage, that was a game changer for me. Now I want all alocasia in no drainage, and I want all Calathea in no drainage, which I have a sneaking suspicion that's what's going to happen with my white fusion. Now my white fusion, started out as one plant, and then I became obsessed with it because I thought it was so beautiful, and it is, that I wanted 2 more. So I bought 2 more, and I put them all together. I'll put B-roll up of this stuff. Future Sheri can do it when she's editing, so you can see it as I talk about it. But back on the subject on moss, like I know that Plant Gave for Life, who really started me on the idea of no drainage, because he does it all the time. He does use moss in his substrate. Maybe I should, but I just don't think it's needed. Not when you use peat moss and tree fern. And it breaks down faster, is what I hear. Not that I have experience with it, but it's what I hear. When I went to Hobby Lobby last week and saw these, they're canisters, they're not glass. I wish they were glass, but they aren't. I was so excited. I bought all the ones that they had, which wasn't many. I only got 2 big ones. At the time, I had no clue I was going to be doing this, and I didn't know I even had this. All right, I didn't have this plant yet, so I didn't buy enough. So hopefully they'll have more, because I'm going to go back this weekend and buy more. Something else too I just thought of is, I know how moss also, it turns green, you know, it gets algae on it. So a lot of the ones that you see, you get algae all over the glass of the glass of their plant, and I don't think that'll happen with my mix. I could be wrong, but I don't think it will, because this doesn't have it. The algae has a little bit of it, but the cup does not. So we'll see. It's another pro of doing it this way. I don't know. I think we're going to need a little bit more than what I made up here. Another thing about where I kind of am in my video process, I for one like seeing everything. I like seeing everything there is to see on the channels that I watch. It to the plant person, that seems kind of boring when they're doing their video, and so they'll speed it up or whatnot. I think I'm done speeding things up. Mainly, for one, I don't know how to do it very well yet. in this new app, but that I'm editing in. But you know what? If you guys are anything like me, you like to have this on. I watch mine all the way through without doing stuff. But a lot of people like to do home projects, you know, their plant stuff while it's on. So going about their business, doing other things. And why not? So I say all that because I don't think that I'll be doing too many more of the speeding up in my videos. Let me know your thoughts. And if I don't hear anything, that's fine. We'll just try it, and people watch what they want to watch. And I always put in the bottom, I always put chapters if it has multiple different sections in the video. Now, this may not, but I don't know. Depends. So just always look for that, and where you could, if you want to jump to another section, there's always that you can go to. Now, I'm not going to put any perlite up here because now we're getting close to the top, and this is where in my mind says humidity, right? This plant needs humidity. So rather than adding moss at the top, why not just put this up here? Yeah, I'm not happy about, I'm pretty sure it was these roots. This plant had that fertilizer in it, and it stunk. You didn't smell it. I didn't smell it until I started taking off all that dirt. Some people also have their LECA soak at the bottom, or they have their LECA soak before they use it. I don't. I mean, the advantage would be is it won't soak up any more water than you're expecting, but I mean, it's not like I'm going to not be looking at this plant every day to see what it's doing, you know. I could see it if you have so many plants that you don't go back to it again to check on it, because the LECA will soak up the water before the mix will, and then it'll dry up, and you don't want that. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. Yes. Now we just hope we don't lose our leaves. But I like it. I think that'll work. I see some roots here on the side. I'll be able to see it as it grows, if it lives. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. And I did, just so you know, I did wash this out. These canisters. All right, let me think. I'm not going to fertilize because it's obviously been living in disgusting amount of it. I'm glad I flushed those roots. Let's water it, and then I think I'll call it on this video, and I'll start the next one. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my BIT water because even though it's my mix, I want to make sure that there's nothing in those roots or of that dirt or whatever's left. And I just want to make sure there's no gnats, larva eggs. I don't know how there could be anything left after what I did to it out there, but you never know. You see it's starting to fill up. So I'll wait a few minutes here. So what I don't want it to go above the LECA line. Can you see it? Yeah, I think you can. Turn off this light, hear the glare. It's not sure. I think that's more, I don't know. It's hard to tell from here. But it's definitely heavier. Okay, so what I see here, see this water? So it's actually perfect. The water line is right here. So I'm gonna stop for now. The LECA is gonna soak that up in a couple hours. And then what I'll do is I'll water it again. One of the things I wanted to do, and I hadn't yet, is spray the leaves. I don't have any of my special spray anymore, and I need to get some. It had some neem oil, it had a couple other things in it that I really liked, but I haven't been using it. But on this one, all I have is, let me show you. Castile soap. So I put a little of this in there a couple days ago. It's 18-in-1 hemp peppermint pure Castile soap. So I've seen people, and I've had recommendations to do that. So I thought, well, I've already tortured this plant enough, but we're gonna do it again. I just feel like that I would feel better to get whatever's on these leaves off, because they are mucky looking. I mean, they're mucky looking from what they've been through, but with all that stinking fertilizer I smelled on their roots, it's got to be on its leaves too. Now I did, like I say, I watered it at work yesterday, and what did I do? Did I spray it when I got home? No, I didn't spray it. I didn't even put the pesticide, the spray that I usually spray when I bring them home, depending on where they came from. Isn't that awful, guys? I'm so sorry I can't remember things. Doesn't really matter, but it was a poison, and I don't use it anymore much, really, if at all. I think I did. I only don't do it when I feel like that things are a little fishy. You know what I mean? Fishy meaning what the plant looks like. And this plant looked healthy, and like I examined every leaf. I didn't see any mealies, I didn't see any spider mites, but that doesn't mean I saw them, right? So, but I wanted to do this because I know that spider mites, being as small as they are, and they like this plant, which I hope they don't like mine. You can rub them off as you go if there is any on here. I just don't think there is. There's some leaf damage I need to cut. These new leaves are not going to make it. I mean, I should just cut them off now. They're going to come out so bad. I haven't cleaned leaves in a long time. I used to clean leaves every time I watered, but now when I water, they're all going to shower, so there's really no reason for me to do it. The shower cleans them off. Even the real little ones, except for the no drainage. And I really enjoy doing the shower method. I just carry them down to the bathtub, and what's nice is you know you do it. I'll just leave that one be. You do it, carry them all down there, and you can, if they're small ones, you can get 10 plants in the bathtub. Get 10 plants out of the way. Your watering's done on those. It's fast. Now the big plants, sheesh, no. Like I did the big ones last night, and I'm lucky to get 2 big ones in the bathtub. My monsteras, I got both monsteras in the bathtub. That was it. Now when these leaves open, if they open, I'll wipe their leaf off when it's ready, you know what I mean? Hopefully you can see this. I'm not sure how good the angle is. If you guys have never touched this leaf, you're missing out. It's the softest leaf I've ever touched in my entire lifetime. It's the main reason I wanted this plant. I didn't put much of that Castile soap in that spray bottle. It's mostly water. But, so hopefully it does okay. I got most of I did cut off a lot of these bad spots last night. But missed some. A very nice plant or leaf. Cut him off. Okay. I think that's it, guys. At least for today. Let me turn you around here. Okay, so this is where he's gonna go. Now, again, no sun comes in this window with that tree out there when it has leaves. So I feel like this is a good spot for him. But if I see that there's too much of a sun coming in at some point in time, I'll definitely move him. But I think this is a good spot for him for now. I am considering bringing in my other Calathea as well. Let me go get that. So here she is. She looks a little scrawny to me, and that's why I feel like I need to get her into a better, like, no drainage. But overall, I've done great with this plant. I got her before we started even having high humidity in the house, but you can tell the leaves are starting to yellow, and I think that's too much fertilizer. And most of it may be too much fertilizer because I water this every 3 days, and sometimes I forget and put fertilizer in it. But so yeah, I'm thinking about keeping her in here as well, even though I can't see her in here except when I come to the kitchen. But that's all right. Put my orchid here. Now this is the poor orchid that I was telling you about. But yeah, where do we see here? Yeah, okay. So this is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, hit the like button if you don't mind, and hit the subscribe. I could use the subscribers. And if you want, share my video to people or whatever. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye.